In the last two lectures, we have learned how to manage states and how to handle side effects in a class-based component. Now, let's talk about managing context in a class-based component. Let's go to VS Code. And the first thing which we are going to do is we are going to create a context. For that, inside this source folder, I am going to create a new file. I'll call this demo context. Here, let's import React object from React library. Now, to create a context on this React object, we can use createContext method. And to this, let's pass an object, and there let's specify a property. Let's call this property maybe value, and let's assign it with initial value as empty string. Now, if you want, you can have multiple properties here for this object, but since I want to keep things simple, I'm going to have only one property here. So this createContext method is going to return a context. Let's go ahead and let's store it in a variable, and let's call it demo context. And let's go ahead and let's export this demo context. So here we have created a context. Now we want to provide this context, and we want to provide this context app-wide. For that, let's go to this app component, and here let's provide the demo context. So if you remember, for that, we need to use this demo context, and in order to use this demo context, we also need to import it. So here we can say import demo context from demo context. Okay, and we want to provide this demo context. So on this demo context, we need to call this provider, and we need to wrap this JSX within this provider. So this is how we provide a context, and we already know these things from our previous lectures. In the previous lectures, when we learned about useContext, there we learned how to create a context and how to provide a context. So far, creating a context and providing a context is similar in both class-based component and function-based component. Now on this provider, we can specify an attribute called value. And to this, we are going to assign this object, and inside this object, we can specify this property name, this value property. And here we can set a value for that. So here, let's go ahead and let's set a static value, because here we simply want to understand how the context works in a class-based component. And here let's say this value is coming from demo context. Now keep in mind that since we are creating a context here, and since we are providing it on this app component, this value here, this property, it will be available in the app component and in all its child components, and also in their child components. That means this value here can be accessed inside this demo component, because this demo component is the child component of app component. And in the demo component, we have another child component called paragraph. So this value can also be accessed inside this paragraph component, which is the child component of demo component. Right, this is what we use React context for. So far, we are creating and providing the context as we learned it with the functional components. The only thing which changes when you are working with context in a class-based component is related to how you use it. So we know that context manages state application-wide. And if this would have been a functional component, we could have used useContext hook for accessing the context. But we cannot use useContext hook in a class-based component, because we have learned that we cannot use React hooks in a class-based component. So what option do we have here in a class-based component? How can we use context in a class-based component? Let's see that. Let's say we want to use this value, this property, the value of this property in this paragraph component. So instead of displaying this value within the paragraph, we want to display this value, which we are assigning to this value property. To do that, we have two ways. The first way is by consuming the context. And to consume a context, what we need to do is we need to use demo context. And in order to use this demo context, again, we need to import it from this file. And on that, we can call consumer. All right. Inside this, we need to create a function. So for that, I'm going to use this arrow function syntax. And this function is going to receive the context. In our case, it is going to receive an instance of this demo context. Let's call it maybe CTX. Now what we need to do is, from this function, we need to return JSX. Let me copy this JSX from here. Let me cut it from here, and let's return it from this function. Now this CTX, it will be assigned with the demo context. So the object which we are passing to this create context method. And here we are also updating this object in the app component. So basically this object with this property value and with this string value assigned to it, that will be assigned to this CTX. And what do we wanted? We wanted to use this value within this paragraph. So here we can simply say, we can again use a set of curly braces like this. And here we can say ctx.value. With this, let's save the changes. Let's go to the web page. And here we have an error. And this error is because here we are creating an object. So this object should also be wrapped within curly braces like this. So the first set of curly braces we are using to write some JavaScript expression. And the second set of curly braces we are using to create the object. And now if we go to the web page, we don't have any error. And the value which you will see for this paragraph, this value is the same value which we are assigning to this value property. All right, so this is one way of consuming a context by using this consumer. And since we are using consumer in a JSX code, this consumer can also be used in a function-based component. Okay, so this same approach you can also use in a function-based component. Now in a function-based component, we have a hook called useContext. So do we have any equivalent of useContext in a class-based component? Well, there is no equivalent of useContext in a class-based component. But we do have a static property in a class-based component which we can use to consume context. Let's see that. So I will comment this code and let's get back our previous code. All right, so what we can do is we can create a static property. So for that, we can use the static keyword and the property name must be context type. And to this, we can assign demo context. And then here, we want to use the value property of that demo context. So let's use a set of curly braces. And here, let's say this dot context dot, and the name of the property is value. So if I save the changes, if I go to the web page, you see, we still see this paragraph. This value is coming from demo content. But this time, we are using this static context type property. Now, the problem here is we can only set this static context type property only once. If there are, let's say, two contexts which should be connected for this component, this would not be possible with class-based component and context type property. If you remember, with useContext React hook, we can listen to multiple contexts in the same component by calling useContext multiple times and point at different contexts, right? But that is not possible with class-based components. In a class-based component, you can only access or use one context at a time. So using context is straightforward in class-based component, but it is less flexible. So in this lecture, we learned how we can manage contexts in a class-based component. This is all from this lecture. If you have any questions, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.